That's every Spurs fan this morning. That's how we feel. We feel like running into a pane of glass. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon. Don't worry, Mr. Brady's gone. He's on the train somewhere between Austria and Germany. He's got lost. Anyway, good afternoon and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham Hotspur. All your Spurs news, all your Spurs content from past, present, and I don't know. I give up. A very confusing future. Joining me on this stream is Mr. Brady. He's on a train between Austria and Munich. I don't know where he must be in a tunnel somewhere. He's got lost. That man travels more around the world than our own Taoiseach does or the British Prime Minister does. So I think he should get... Hello, he's back in again. Anyway, joining me on this host, of course, is Philip. When he comes back in, it's my usual co-host, let me get my teeth in, Queen Ellie Hoybier. She's got a long day. And also from Spurs Between the Lines, Mia as well. Mia, I'll start with you because we're doing a joint stream with you. How are you? And we've got a bit of a statement to read to both of us, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm good. The statement is going to be about how I think people are kind of taking our breaking of certain news a bit the wrong way. Like we're kind of saying it like it's not facts. So, but people are sort of getting on to me, getting on a bit to like obviously you guys as well. But we just want to make it very, very clear that about what we do report on, what we know. This is only what we know. So yeah, go ahead, Dermot.
Right, this is the statement. We here at THFC Till I Die and Spurs Between the Line want to bring you all the latest breaking news as it's given to us on Spurs. Breaking Spurs news as it's given to us. We can only go in what our sources tell us. Just want to get that out of the way to be clear and transparent. We thank you for your constant support turning into our channels and really do appreciate all your feedback. Philip, we do try our best, don't we, to bring the latest news, and it is hard, isn't it, to get everything right, but we're only giving the news to Spurs fans because we're only Spurs fans ourselves, aren't we? We're not like Sky or TalkSport. We're only a small channel.
It's the only agenda we have is the good of Tottenham.
Yeah.
And some of the other stuff that come through, especially on Sky, is just made up to exactly the opposite. So, it's very, if people don't like what we say, I mean, nobody gets it right all the time. We act on very good, we've got a very good number of sources, and we're never too far from the facts. So it's fine.
And Ellie? Yeah, and Ellie, do you want to add anything to that as well?
Yeah, just that, we do our best on this channel to bring you anything that's breaking. Like Dermot said, it's the source. We go with the source, and we can't do anything about that. Once it's been printed and we give you the breaking news, if it doesn't transpire that was the case, that's out of our hands. So we do appreciate all your feedback, though, and we really appreciate all your support, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody who joins us, everybody who's seen us in the past or in the present.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to say that we do it in good faith, people. We don't do it to try and deceive you or anything like that. We do it with good faith, in good faith. So just know that that's what we're doing. But we do appreciate that, obviously, you comment to us. And obviously, you keep comments respectful, then that's perfectly fine to ask us questions about it. But we just thought we would clarify.
Yeah. Just to quickly explain where Mr. Brady is, he's on the train between Austria and Germany looking for Nagelsmann. So how's Operation Munich coming along, Philip? Are we getting anywhere with Operation Munich?
Operation Munich is brilliant. Operation Nagelsmann isn't.
You never know. He might be on the seat behind you. Have a look.
I've done every carriage.
And the toilets.
Absolutely. I even looked in the driver's cab.
Oh, Jesus. Right, anyway, let's welcome a few people into the chat. We've got Daryl Denton. Big up, Darren. He says, welcome. I don't know what he's saying. Desperation, I think, or something. Yeah, I feel like desperation. Big up, Carl Simpson. Big up, guys. Another day in the life of the Spurs fan. Hoping every time I look at my phone, I'm going to see new manager and director of football and player movement. Yeah, we will get there. And just so you don't get angry, Mia, I've liked both. So there you go. He says, everyone subscribe to Spurs Between the Lines. Mia is 5 of 400, so please do so. Let's get the 400. We all want to see it, hit it on this stream. So big up, Mia, and hope you get it, Mia. We've got Tequila 316 multi-pass. We've got Terry White. Good afternoon, all. FTSM Column. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well with each and every one. We've got Tequila saying big badder, big boom, multi-pass, big up. We've got the Spurs Nation. Hello, did you see what Saudi is doing there? The government told Bazuma that he can play for any club he wants and he will get 400 mil for 2 seasons. Saudi league should get banned. They are terrible. That's something we will probably talk about later on in the show. Wembley One afternoon, you lovely people, and the Levy Enoch interior of our club goes on and on and on. Purple and gold until we sold. A small part of me would love Harry to stick 2 fingers up at Levy. Yep. We'll get into that in a minute. Colin is saying, I hear that Daniel was talking to Custody the Clown and Homer Simpson in regards as the director of football and the manager's job. Mia, which one gets the manager's job?
Oh, I'll probably say Krusty because I think he's a little smarter than Homer. Because Homer, actually, I don't know, because Homer gets paid in donuts. It might be acceptable.
Yeah, it might be. What do you reckon, Ellie?
I'll go with Homer because he'll go dull to Levy all the time.
We've got Terry Wright saying big up. We've got Beyond 72, White Hart Pain. So true. Yeah. Peter Rem, good afternoon. All big up, Peter Rem. Hope you're doing well, sir. We've got Terry Wright. Circus O'Levy. Yep, that is true. What's happened, guys? We will give you the news in a minute. We've got Kate in. Big up, Kate. Hi, all. Whose source was this? I've got a very good source. It was Mia who got a bit of blowback from 2 of our people in our chat. And I don't think it's fair on her. We only try to do the best we can as small channels. So we try to help each other out. So yeah, that's what it was going. Terry White's in Levy's going to be tempted by a glamour appointment. I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be in Equay. Not what I'm hearing, but who knows? I'm hearing more than one voice. Is Philip possessed? Well, Philip's gone.
Yeah.
People need to remember that the world of football moves quickly and changes daily. One day the story could be Zidane is set to sign to play midfield for Spurs. Within hours, things can change. And Mia, I'll start with you on this, as you're on Spurs Between the Lines, and this is a joint stream. It's true, though, isn't it? Football can change very, very quickly.
Yeah, of course it can change quickly. The thing is, everything in life nowadays does move very quickly, and football is no different. Just one little thing could change a whole course of something happening. So, of course, it does change very quickly. I think we all know that from the past anyway.
Yeah, that is so true. Tequila says, speaking reverse, Philip, we might have to get a local priest to check on you, Philip. When he comes back, we'll tell him that. We've got Conham again, says, football is so unpredictable. They're just getting information to give to them by sources, and it's not their fault. If things change, that is why there's so many consistent stories out there. Thank you so much, Conham. That's very kind of you to actually back us up on that. So thank you so much. Peter M. Sky will keep on about Kane leaving because they want viewers, and this story attracts views, I guess. What will actually happen, they do not really know. They are dependent on the club as we are. Exactly. Carl's saying, Philip, look out the window. He could be alongside you on an electric scooter.
On his skinny jeans.
Yeah. You won't see me in skinny jeans, I'll tell you that now. Yeah, very funny, Ellie.
One leg.
Not even that, my little finger. Homer works in the nuclear power plant, so obviously an easier job than working for Spurs. Is it tomato or brown sauce? I have no idea. We've got Tottenham Forever, who's a member. Big up Tottenham Forever. Where is your member's badge, Ryan? You signed up as a member. I don't see your member's badge there, sir. So let me know what's. Oh, he might be on.
He's on my channel.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, big up. Taka says, big up, lads. I wonder how much Kane is offered. 400k. I will go into that in a minute. it's okay. I know about football world due to my time working in it, so I know how quickly things change from day to day. That is so true, Colin.
Yeah.
Right, guys, we are gonna go. What I want to do also is something that we don't normally do, but today I'm going to make an exception for one show only. This is, hang on, let me get it right. This is Mia's Patreon. Mia, do you want to explain why people should sign up to your Patreon very quickly before we start cracking on with the show?
Yeah, it's just like a quick shout to say tomorrow I am going to be doing a Patreon members stream. So if you want to come and join me, please click on the link and join my Patreon, as it does really help. If you can't afford it, I do completely understand, but I'm just trying to obviously get some people to come on, and I really want to have good chats with people, and obviously this way it kind of helps me out, and we can obviously all have a really good conversation. So yeah, if you can possibly do that, I would really appreciate the support.
Yeah, I do get the joke now. Okay, I don't get jokes at the beginning, but I get it. Very funny. That is actually quite a good one. And then they've got Val Taylor. Do sources just make things up and pass it on to God? Right, who wants to take this? Because I'm going to say she's saying she's hang on. Val's just saying. So just do you want to take that?
Yeah, I can say a bit on that.
Yeah, go on.
The thing is, there's so many rumours going around, so you can't always know what's true and what's not true. The thing is, a lot of the agents as well, I was going to say, they spin stories as well, the players' agents, and they get things mixed up, because players are players, aren't they? They will go where they want the best deal, but also their agents want to really fight for their players as well and get them the best deal. So some stories come out and they're fed and they're untrue, and when you say fed on to gullible people, the thing is, you're only gullible if you allow yourself to be gullible, so you just got to take it with a pinch of salt, try and get good sources that you rely on, and then take it from there.
We're very lucky in this channel, and Mia knows that as well, that we are very lucky with the couple of sources we do have. They've been pretty accurate with the information they've been giving us.
Yeah.
So, we're very, very lucky. But big up, Val. Great seeing you. Please hit that like button. Very good question. We also got Brian Daigle in saying we want Levy out. Say we want the up. Big up, Mr. Daigle. Hope you're doing well. Right, so that is all the people that are in. We're going to start with a bit of the breaking news. It's Daniel Levy is going to offer Kane a new contract with a boost in salary to secure the English striker's signature for the next few years. It is unknown if Kane will accept it. Well, we broke yesterday, Mia, about Kane looking to push, and you broke it last night as well, the news I got, about Kane looking to push for a transfer request. Do you think Daniel Levy's getting desperate now? No. He's going to try to throw everything at it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because he does want to keep him, doesn't he? We all kind of know that it's going to be a case of he wants to try and keep him, even if it is just for this year. So he knows that if he doesn't sign and he has a transfer request in, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to try and keep him. So, of course, he's going to chuck the kitchen sink at it, isn't he? He's going to say, whatever you want, please stay. Even if it is for another year, please don't hand in that transfer request. If you're not going to sign, please can you stay? That's, of course, what he's going to try and do.
I mean, Ellie, look, we all want Kane to stay. We know how important Harry is to us, but do you think he's given enough to Tottenham that he's thinking, right, it's time I moved on? And from what I'm hearing, Manchester United is the place where he wants to go. Ten Hag really wants him, and he really wants to go to Ten Hag. So, look, we all know Levy won't sell to a Premier League club, but will he be forced to?
Yeah, well, I think he will be, because I think Kane will get his way, because they respect and love him so much. He's done so much for our club in regards to scoring all those goals, and just his general play. He's been fantastic for us. It's a shame that we didn't get him over the line with a trophy, really. But, a lot of rumours coming out that he wants away. You don't know 100%. And I think Levy will be breaking his back to try and keep him for at least another year, you know, because at the end of the day, if we lose these goals, they're going to be so hard to replace. Because with Sonny and Richie having a up and down season, really, well, more Sonny than Richie. Richie hasn't had the looking really, but we'll have to find a new striker. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, and that's another point I'm going on, Mia. Look, we all know how important Kane is to us, but you've always made the argument, and if I brought my microphone up a bit, wouldn't it? You've made the argument that about keeping Kane hostage at one point, and we shouldn't keep him hostage. But the argument is, as I said to you yesterday, Mia, and Dave said it last night in the fan show on his channel, that if you take Kane's goals away and the points he's got for us, we're just round about where Everton are. So how important is it for Levy to secure Kane's signature for another couple of years at least?
I think that's an argument that's been used and bandied about, which I don't think is actually is feasible or logical, because we don't know if we had someone else playing in Kane's place who would score what goals. It's all ifs, buts and maybes with that scenario. I understand that Kane is really important, and I can see why Levy would really want him to stay. Like, I can understand it. I can understand it. But there will be another striker who comes along. So I don't want him to stay. I don't want no player to be here if he doesn't want to be here. I really don't. So if he hands in that request, that means he doesn't want to be here. And I think it's really not very good for him as a person to be held hostage like that and made to stay.
Now, Ellie, Kane will not want to move his family, but his wife's pregnant again. She's expecting another baby.
Yeah.
Do you think he will put his? Do you think his wife will have more of the same where he goes this time round than she has done in the past?
Possibly. You never know, because you don't know what's going through the lady's mind. But do you know what? I saw just to take it to another view, that mural they did of Harry Kane. I was thinking, if he's going to leave, there's two sides to the story. If he's going to leave, why do the mural, right, at that particular time? You know, maybe they should have done it after he left. All right. It just seems a bit weird. And I think because he's under contract, Dermot, he's got another year on his contract. So Spurs don't have to sell.
No, they don't. But if they leave it to January, I think the rule is right. If he leaves it to January, he can speak to other clubs and then go on the free. Now, Mia, are we going down the route where we went with who should not be named back in the early 2000s, where his contract went on and on? He said he wanted to stay, and he ended up leaving. Harry Kane's never said at one point during any season he wants to stay at Tottenham next year. He hasn't said in any of the interviews, I want to be here next season. So is it down to him to give us some sort of a statement to say, look, I've got a year left of my contract. I am going to stay or I am going to leave. He has to let us know one way or the other, doesn't he?
I think it'd be good for him to be able to just kind of indicate what is going to happen, or, you know, I think that it isn't very good that he hasn't actually done that. As far as the mural is, I don't think it was down to the club, was it? I don't think it's the club that.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. So it was done by some. So I don't think the club got anything to do with it, Eddie. And I don't know if that would really.
I think they sanctioned it.
They sanctioned, but they didn't.
Where
didn't
it was
actually.
Going to be, that's what I mean, because it's right by, right at the end of White Hart Lane. But they didn't actually commission it, if you know what I mean.
No, they didn't commission it at all. Yeah. So, and I saw Kate say that about his family. Listen, when you're pregnant, it's difficult, but don't forget he's going to have people to move him. It's not going to be like when we move. He's not going to have to pack anything. His family are not going to have to do anything. All they have to do is drive to their new house, and it'll be all unpacked for them. So it isn't going to be a big deal. And like settling children, I've moved, and kids settle in really quick. So I don't think that's a factor. I think it's going to be, this is his last move. He has to decide what he's going to do, because if he signs a contract, that'll be his last move. If he stays a year, then he has to decide where he's going to go in a year's time. That's a big thing.
Well, I've got a bit more breaking news on the Harry Kane thing, so I don't know if this will swing it, but I'm going to hit the breaking news anyway. I'll read it out to you, and we'll discuss it and let people in the chat what they think. I love that bit of thing. It's so cool.
Yeah.
This is what I've just been told. Tottenham are ready to include Harry Kane in key decisions over the club's future as they bid to tie him down to a new contract, sources have confirmed. And that's what my sources just confirmed to me. It's not new, but yeah, it's not new. It's not new. It's not new news, if you know what I mean. But it is. It's the same as it stands. So, Mia, where do you go on this now? Do you think it's a bit like what PSG did to Mbappe? They let him have key decisions in what happens there. Do you think it's healthy for a club to have players' decision on key decisions over the club?
No, I don't think it is. And I know people are going to say, well, Harry Kane's our best player. He deserves it. But I don't think any player should have that control, because then it gets out of control, because then where does it stop? Like, it just, I think that you shouldn't allow a player to do that ever. I don't care who you are. If you're Messi, Mbappe, Harry Kane, Benzema, I don't care who you are, you shouldn't have that say.
Yeah. And you, Ellie, look, we know, hang on, let me get it now. Where did I put it? Look, do you think it is healthy for Kane to have key decisions, be included in key decisions? It's like, see, Mbappé's got decision who comes in as manager, who doesn't come in as manager, who comes in as director of football, who doesn't. Is player power getting too much in football now, where the old days it was the chairman, the manager, and that's where it went? Now the players want to have influence on what happens at the club. Now key players want influences. All the players went to Levy to get rid of Nuno.
Yeah.
Should it go back to what it used to be? Do you agree with me that Harry Kane should not be included in any key decisions over the club's future?
Yeah, I do, because I'm old-fashioned, Dermot. I come from an era where the managers had the power, and I think if you diminish that power away from the manager and the chairman as well, he's included, I think you take away from the club, because the club is supposed to be run by the managers, not the players. The players are there to train hard, get fit, do what the manager says, and get on that pitch and win the 3 points, right?
Yeah,
and the club should have all the rights in terms of who's appointed.
I mean, Mia, Kate's saying here, who said Kane's asked for this kind of influence? Levy may be offering it to him. Do you feel that Harry Kane? Do you feel that Harry Kane may be asking for this bit of influence, so he does have a bit of say on what happens at Tottenham, or do you think it's Levy offering it to him to say, "Look, this is what I'm going to give you. Stay."
Listen, if you're a real kind of person who's going to stand up for what's right, you would say, listen, I don't want this control. I'm going to stay or I'm going to go, but you giving me this control isn't going to happen. Like, he shouldn't want the control. He should say, no, I don't want that control. I just want to get the money that I'm worth. I just want to know that we're going to go in the right direction. What we'd like, any kind of, so the players know the plan, but not just Kane. All of them know the plan, and that is it. I just don't think that he should take it. Don't forget, if someone's offering you something, you don't have to take it. There's no one's going to hold anything to your head and say you must take it. So he could say no.
Yeah. Well, listen, we will give you more news on that as and when we get it, but we have got a few more bits of stories to go through. And this one here, guys, is absolutely mind-boggling. We broke it yesterday about the argument within Bayern Munich. And the news that I was given this morning about this, where did I put it now? I will find it anyway. The statement, which has been released just an hour ago after Bayern Munich's win, read, Oliver Kahn is no longer CEO of Bayern Munich AG. The position on the sporting director, Hassan Shalambadovic, if I've got that right, will also be filled. This was a decision by the supervisory board of the German record champions. Young Christian Driesen, 55, would take over from Kane. The successor to Hans Schalsbeck is still being decided. Now, I'm going to start with you, Mir. Now, I was told this morning, let me read out what I was said. That I was have just been sent. It says my source told me that there might be a delay in the manager front due to this news coming out of Bayern Munich and what's being said. Levy is looking at Hassan Shabbat and Oliver Kahn's situation, which also may affect Tuchel's position at the club. Daniel is keeping his options open. What do you think is going through Daniel Levy's mind at the moment? Is he thinking, look, if I get Nagelsmann through, I can bring two of the people that work with them at Bayern Munich and have a proper threesome team there to bring Tottenham to the next level?
Yeah, he might be thinking that, but I feel like there's a bit of dilly-dallying going on. We need to be more decisive, you know. I feel like it needs to be more decisive when it comes to it. And him saying, oh, but this might work. Oh, but this might. I just want him to get it sorted, man.
Yeah. And do you agree with Wembley One here, Ellie, that this is what a big club does? Bayern firing people because they only won the title on goal difference. And apparently we broke the news yesterday. It was one hell of an argument. Apparently people were pointing fingers at everyone and you doing this and you haven't done that. So, what do you reckon? I agree with Wembley One. This is what a big club does.
Yeah, but the thing is, big clubs, right? They do operate in a different fashion, I must admit. But I personally don't think it's right, because you're actually saying to the people, you've been successful for us, but we're letting you go because you weren't as successful as we thought you were going to be. I just feel that it's a bit of I don't know. I just think it's awful. Like, if I've done my job well at work, right, I expect to keep my job, right? If I've been successful, I expect to keep it. I don't expect to get fired.
Yeah, but Mia, this is Bayern Munich. They win the league at a canter every year. They've only won it on goal difference. So you can imagine the board turn around and say, look, we're not going through this again. Yeah, go on, Mia.
Do you know what? It can be seen two ways. It can be seen as being ruthless, or it can be seen as it's a bit of a shambles to behave in that way and very reactionary,
Yeah.
It could be seen both ways. But for me, I think it's very reactionary. And to sit there and point fingers, it's not very professional. It doesn't look very good on your club, surely. That doesn't. And also anyone else coming in, they're going to think, right, okay, this can happen. This happens in the club. Like, it's a big thing what they have done and made it so, and it's quite public as well. They haven't done it hush hush behind the doors. They've sort of made it very public on what's gone on as well.
Yeah. Well, listen, everyone, please hit that like button, hit that subscription button. If you haven't, please get your memberships. They're only $2.99. The link is pinned up the bottom of the chat. And also, if the chat is hopping, so if you want to get ahead of the chat, you want to get a question in to myself, Mia, or Ellie, you can put it into a super chat. I know times are hard out there. We will get your comments up as much as we can, but it does help the channel and it helps us grow. So please get your memberships and get your super chats in, because it does rarely help. We've got Brian saying here, Brighton lose a manager and have a plan and hire Desabry back to get them to European football. Villa sack Gerrard and have a plan to get Emery back to get European football. Whilst we're only on day 64, no manager, no plan. What do you say on this, Mia? What do you say to Brian?
Again, it could be seen two ways, Brian, because some people might have got onto Levy's back. If we would have rushed the appointment, people would have said, oh, you're just rushing the appointment. We didn't want that manager, blah, blah. And so I suppose it could, like I say, it could be seen two ways. I want him to be decisive now the season's over. If we're looking at somebody who's in a job, maybe that's the reason why. We don't know all the ins and outs of everything. So I would say it is difficult. And I think we all just want it to be done now. Let's be honest.
And look, what I'm hearing is, Ellie, that the appointment could be made by the mid to the end of this week. So we could hear something very, very soon. Apparently, Oliver Kahn was pissed about the Nagelsmann situation as well. So can you see Oliver Kahn come to Tottenham and Nagelsmann?
I can, right, because he's a CEO as well, and we don't really have a CEO, do we? We have a chairman, but we don't have a CEO, so we might change our structure on that point. It depends on the club how much they want to fork out, because Oliver Kahn won't come cheap. Just getting back to Brian's comment as well, I just feel maybe they didn't make the decision like you said. They didn't want to make a rash decision, but also they might have been waiting for somebody to give them the go ahead, and they might have other ties that are stopping us from signing them. And also they might have demanded things before they sign as well, like we're hearing about Nagelsmann, right? So we have to take our time this time, because last time we acted rashly and we got in the garden gnome, didn't we, Dermot? So as you say, so we have to be careful what we're doing this time and make the right choice. And then the plan will come when the manager comes and the DOF comes, because it will be a lot clearer what vision they have, because they're going to lead the club into where they want it to go.
Yeah, that's so true. Look, another bit of news here. As for an hour ago, a couple of hours ago now, Spurs intend to take up the option to sign Kulu on a permanent basis this summer. Not done just yet, as it's down to Kulu. Who wants to take this? Who wants to have their view on this first?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I think we should sign Kulu, but do you know what I don't get, Dermot, is like the manager hasn't come in yet, the DOF hasn't there, and they're making a decision over a player that the manager might not want. You don't know what his choice is going to be. So we're making decisions before the manager comes in.
I think whoever's going to come in will have an option, will have a say on who he keeps on this deal. This is only a loan deal with an option to buy. I think it was the same as Romero's deal as well, Mia, that, the contract's already been signed. It's just an option to pay the money. But do you agree with Ellie, or do you think whoever's coming in will already be appraised of what's happening here?
I do kind of agree with Ellie. Like, I do feel like that we should jump the ahead and get in players or agree to a player if a manager. Well, we don't know who the manager is and who they might actually want, but then again, we could already have something sorted and we just don't know yet. And they might have said, we're going to have Kulu. Do you want us to keep him? So we don't know, because again, we don't know the exact ins and outs. So it's really difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Look, this is Tottenham Hotspur. We're a fucking joke of a club sometimes, but there you go. We are a circus. But anyway, that is all the breaking news. But look, we're going to start with this, guys. Look, where is it now? Here we go. If the Brian situation does drag on, could that be bad for Spurs, Mia? And what I mean by that is, if it drags on and drags on and drags on, and there is rumours out there they want Nagelsmann back. There is rumours about that. Do where do we stand? Do we just bite the bullet and just get Nagelsmann in, or do we? The longer we wait, Mia, the longer we could lose him again.
Yeah, I do think that I don't think that we should be indecisive now. I think this is the time to be decisive for Levy. I think he needs to stop dithering and waiting on this person, waiting on that person. I think he needs to lay down who he wants as DOF, say to Nagelsmann, will you come with this DOF and be done with it? Yes or no? Like, don't dither, because I feel like this dithering is going to cost us, because we'll have less time in the transfer window. We've got the pre-season. I think that we do need to be a bit decisive now with who we're getting. Like, we need to really knuckle down on getting this manager and DOF sorted.
Yeah, there's a lot of people anti-Levy in the chat, I'll tell you that. Ellie, look, should he just go ahead with this Nagelsmann deal or whatever, and not let the Bayern Munich debacle delay him for doing what's best for us?
Yeah, so if we believe reports, then he's already had chats with him. So I just want full steam ahead. Get your man, get him in. Don't dither. Just do the business, Daniel Levy, and get the man you want in, who you feel is going to be the best, give us the best plan and the best vision for our club. All right, and just make that decision, all of the board as well, not just Daniel Levy. Just get your act together and get somebody in so that we can start planning, because it's not a long time before the pre-season starts. Yeah, and you want that manager in there working with the players so they can see who they want to cut and who they want to keep.
Okay, I've just got some news. I'm just going to wait to get that confirmed. It may not be good news for us, but hey ho, this is Tottenham Hotspur. Look, with all the players that are coming back from loans now, this thing with Paratici sending players out on loan and getting them out there, getting them out the way. We've got players coming back. I'll start with you and this, Ellie, then I'll go to you, Mia.
Yeah.
Which of them do we keep and who do we try to sell? Now, Ellie, there's two players I love. Hill, I want to keep. I want also to keep Lo Celso, because I think Lo Celso could be that missing link in our midfield. Now, I was always against Lo Celso coming. I think it was either Mia or Philip Brady said it to me and really convinced me with their argument why Lo Celso should say. And also, the Rennes manager, as he praised on Joe Rodon for his attitude and for his commitment while he's been at Rennes on loan this season. So out of that three and the players that are coming back, who do you want to keep and who do you want to sell? And then I'll go to you, Mia, on the same question.
Joe Rodon is a big no for me, even though the Rennes manager gave him praise. I was having a chat with Graham Roberts about that, actually, and he said he's a championship player, and I trust Graham Roberts because he knows what's happening at the club as well. He's got an inside track. In regards to Lo Celso, I would have him technically brilliant player. He's really good on the ball. He's good at passing. He finds pockets of space as well, which is really good. But I just think the club, what I've heard, Dermot, he's a little bit of a arrogant little sod. That's allegedly, by the way. Right, but I just don't think he will fit. And the players that I want, that I particularly like, are Brian Hill and Reggie. I've always had a soft spot for Reggie and Hill because they, when they go on the pitch, I look at players' body language as well, and they are fighters, the two boys. They really do. They really fight for the team. And I think Reggie found Conte's training regime a bit tough. But maybe this time round, he's a year and a half older, right? A year and a half stronger. So I hope we can have him, even as a squad player. It'd be fantastic to bring on because he's got the right attitude.
Yeah. And Mia,
and DJ Spence as well. I'd love to see.
Yeah, well, he's injured. He's actually come back injured, actually from Rennes.
But what can you do about that? You can't do. But he'll be a good acquisition because we might even lose Royale. Royale.
I don't think we are, Ellie. From what I'm hearing, he is staying, though his father is.
So.
No, his father is. No, I can tell you he is staying. I can tell you that. Though his father is making comments, Emerson will be here next season, at the start of next season. I can tell you that. Mia. Look, Mia. Look, Ellie says Reggie be good coming back. We've got the Spence coming back. What about Mr. Burger King? Mr. Dombele and players like that now. What do we do with these?
Ndombele's got to go. He hasn't got the application. No point of having the skill if you haven't got the application. Absolutely pointless. So he has to go for me. I would probably say Rodon has to go. Ndombele has to go. Lo Celso, I'm not so sure. I think we need to loan Hill because I don't think he's beefy enough. He's still like a broomstick. So I still feel like he needs to beef up a little bit. So I'd probably loan him. Spence and Reggie I would keep. I think they're probably good. Winks, absolutely get rid of him. We forgot about Winks, didn't we? We're trying to forget.
It's quite easy to forget about Winks, to be fair.
Cross up every time you hear his name.
Yeah, so he has to go. Yeah, there's a lot doing really if you think about it within the club. Even with those two, so even with them players coming back, there's lots to do at the club. With regards to the loanees, really.
But Mia, do you agree with Paratici the way he done it, the way he loaned players out, and do you feel it's just kicking the can down the road a bit? Yeah, go on.
I felt like we had some of the players no choice because none of them would be sold. It's really hard to sell some of them, but now we have just kicked the can down the road because we still have to get rid of them. But it got them out of the club, I suppose. I don't know if that was a manager decision. It could have been a Conte decision as well. Don't forget, he could have said, I want these players out of the club. You don't know.
Well, talking about loans, I've just been given this bit of news. Olympique Marseille are looking to sign Tottenham Hotspur midfield Papa Sarr 20 on loan this summer. So that could be one player going out. Ellie, what's your instant reaction to that one?
I think it'll be good for his development, but I do like him. I think that game he played at Marseille was fabulous. He just showed what he can do. And ever since then, he hasn't really been given a chance. And then when we were losing to Newcastle, they dragged him off. That must have dented his confidence so much. So I think it'll be good for him, though, to get football get minutes under his belt and, show what he can really do and come back a stronger player.
Yeah, I mean, David Clark says that Gill will not come back a third time. He stay. He has been treated poorly, so in his mind, he won't want to be treated that way again. So he will force me. We don't know that. We don't know how he's been treated, and we actually don't know what relationship he has with the club. And what do you say to David Clark here, Mia? I mean,
that's all conjecture because, we don't know for facts what he feels or how he's feeling, how he has been treated by the club. Personally, I just think keeping him would be a mistake because I do think that he's still too slight and isn't strong enough for the Prem. Personally.
Billy Nick says you could be right about this. Also, I think Romero is arrogant too. Oh yeah, he was on about where is it now? There was a thing in the chat here saying I forget who put it in saying that Lisoso was arrogant. We don't know what goes on in the club, do we? We really don't know. And the other bit of breaking news I've been given is this: Real Madrid are reportedly ready to try again for Julian Nagelsmann following the German manager's Bayern Munich dismissal. Now, look, guys, we broke it Saturday that Spurs are in for him again. We're about to do a U-turn. I'll go first with you on this, Mia, because it was broken both channels. What would you say to this, and what would you say to Mr. Levy if he was in front of you now? What would you say to him?
The thing is, he has Ancelotti's thing. He hasn't been sacked, so I don't know why this rumour's come up. There's nothing to say that he's been sacked. I'm a bit confused by that because
he is leaving after that. Apparently, he is leaving after the after the end of the Spanish season.
Oh, okay. Well, I've not seen that anywhere. But yeah, if it was me, I would say to Levy, go elsewhere because if Madrid come knocking, we're not going to get him. So give up now.
Mia, Ali.
Yeah, I mean, Real Madrid is the ultimate job at the end of the day. 14 Champions Leagues. They're the richest, well, reported to be one of the richest clubs in the world. It's hard to compete. So like Mia said, if they do come knocking on his door, then I think we're going to play second fiddle, really, or even third fiddle. But I just feel if he's got ambition and he wants to come to England to prove, we've got a chance. We've got a chance at least.
Tequila says, bigger question, Dermot. Will skinny jeans fly in Madrid? No, they won't. They will not fly in Madrid.
I love
They'll only fly in North.
He has to have skinny shorts, Tequila.
And Ancelotti will go because they got knocked out. And that Real Madrid are they're not a loyal club. Real Madrid, guys, and you know that. I mean, there's more. And look, and this name keeps coming up and up again. Angie from Celtic. Mia, look, do you think it's between Nagelsmann and Angie?
I'm not sure. Does it? I don't know. Do you know what? I feel like that this Nagelsmann talk keeps going on and dragging on. And I don't know if we are really getting anywhere with it because we haven't been told that any further talks are being held. So,
well, I can give you an update on that, Mia.
Yeah.
The update is the news has gone very quiet. I was talking to my source last night, and he said the news has gone very quiet. And I think for obvious reasons it's gone quiet because I think they want to keep it under the down low what they're doing. So I don't think they want to make it public because of what's happened in the past. So just because it's gone quiet doesn't mean that they're not talking or there's no deals going on. There's a lot of transfers go under the market that we don't know about. And suddenly the next day, we never knew about Jose Mourinho coming in to replace Poch, did we? When Poch was sacked within 6 hours. So, a lot of this, a lot of it here, Brian saying it's Potter, Mason or Rodgers you heard. I don't think it is, Brian. I'm not disagreeing with you, but from what I'm hearing, it's not.
I'm disagreeing because I think Potter's isn't he going somewhere else? I read this morning.
Yeah, I think he might be going to, where did I read it?
Palace.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
Palace.
Yeah. Kate said, Roger, Kate, just because you haven't, we don't know what's happening. I can, as I said, but I don't think it will be. Brian, I disagree with you 100%. I'm sorry, I don't normally disagree with you on some of the things, but this one I will. It won't be any of them three, and it would definitely not be Mason. I am telling you that now. A lot of people are probably agreeing, Kate agreeing with Brian, it's going to be Potter, Mason or Rodgers. Look, Ellie, I'll let you answer that one. I don't think it's going to be any of them three. I don't think so. We know about Rodgers. We had that discussion yesterday. That Rodgers is not the right fit for the club, according to Mia. I don't think Ryan Mason has got enough experience to become Spurs manager. I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think Graham Potter will want to get back into manager anytime soon because of his experience, what he's went through at Chelsea. So that's my opinion. Football's all about opinions, so that's my opinion. What's your thoughts on that?
I just feel like if we don't get Nagelsmann over the line, there's only those three and Postecoglou who's in the picture. There's nobody else, is there? So it all depends, because I think Spurs' first choice is obviously Nagelsmann. All right, so if it does come down to that, those three or those four, you know what? I'll go for the Greek guy. I've been watching him. And he's fabulous. And Paul's been in my ear, phoning me up, telling me all about him. And he's told me to watch this documentary on him. He's a fabulous motivator.
David,
Spurs want to take a risk on a rookie. He's not a rookie, but someone without a big name. That's what I mean.
David, I'm going to say it here now, and I'll let the other people have to say. I do not agree with that comment 100%. I don't think he says Levy deserves Mason, and so will Mason. In fact, do not agree with that 100%. You do not blame the fans. It's not us. We're all fans of Tottenham Hotspur, but to say that's what most fans will. Levy deserves Mason, and so will most Spurs fans. I don't agree with that 100%. No, I really disagree with that. Ellie, what do you want to say? I don't.
I don't agree with that, David. Sorry, but us Spurs fans, we deserve the best, and we haven't been given the best, right? So we deserve a lot of praise because we've stuck by our club, right? And we've cheered them on in these dark days, especially this season, because it's been dreadful, the football. It's like if you play good football and you lose, you can go away with a little bit of your head up high because you've actually tried. But there's so many games. So I don't think we deserve Mason. No. Sorry.
Ellie, Mia, what do you say to David on that? I don't agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I think that these statements saying that we deserve things, like I just don't understand the logic behind that. I think that we're all fans. We all love our club. We might all have different ways in what we support them, different ways in which we show our discontent, different outlooks on what we want as well from the club. Everybody's different and unique, and it's all subjective and opinions. But I just don't think any of us deserve to be unhappy. And if we had Mason, a lot of fans would be unhappy. And I just think, why would you wish unhappiness on fellow fans? I don't subscribe to that way of thinking.
No.
Yeah.
Look, please hit that like button, hit the subscription button, and look, get your memberships and also get in your super chats as well. It does help. It does help the channel grow, and it does help us get new equipment, new graphics up, and everything. So big up, and we've got a new member here. Big up, William, the
Pianist.
The pianist. Welcome
Make
to the
sure
YouTube
you say
channel.
it right.
Yeah, welcome and congratulations and welcome channel, and thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. We are going to do a members only fan show in the next couple of weeks, or once we reach, I think, 15. Once we reach that, we'll be doing the member show. Love to get you on and love to get your thoughts on. And she's saying that's actually my husband, James. Well, big up.
Nice one.
Big up. We need to change. She says we need to change the name, but big up Kate and Jim as well. Big up, big regulars in the chat as well, Jim and Kate. So great to see them in. And I had Kate on here on one show, and it was great talking to her. Absolutely knew what she was talking about. Very knowledgeable Spurs fans, the pair of them. So big up Kate and Jim as well in the chat, always in. Corey Boy says we don't deserve things unless we damn earn it. And in 23 we have been given a lie after lie. Levy and look, I'm going to say something now, and I will not say that name on air. I look, the human beings at the end of the day, they've made mistakes. Okay, we're all passionate about our club. We're all passionate about Tottenham Hotspur. But I will not call them that. I think there's a line you don't cross. Look, I may have called it into them in the past last season, and I'll admit, and I have, and I was wrong. And I should not have called them that because that's not me. I look, we're all frustrated. We're all wants best for Tottenham Hotspur. And I understand that we don't deserve things unless we've damn it. And I get that. And yet I get the 23 years. And for me, it's been the last 4 years. I'm with David on this. David Harris says the same thing. And I'm with David. It's been the last 4 years where it's been, we should never have sacked Poch. We should have backed Poch with a rebuild and given what he wanted. And I think the mistake was made the day we sacked Poch was the day the foundation started crumbling and where we've ended up now. I think, I don't know who wants to take this as well. Look, I agree with what he's saying, but it's still some of the word in there I don't agree with. And it's just me personally. Mia, I'll go with you first, and then I'll go to you, Ellie.
I'm not sure what he means by unless we earn it, because as fans, we don't do anything. So we can't really earn anything. We just, we give our undying support and love to the team. So what we deserve is for them to do better. Absolutely, we do. But calling names, I think that it doesn't really help the cause. I think it just distracts from your point. I think there's a way of getting yourself across without having to call these kind of names that are quite nasty. And I just feel like it is a bit unnecessary. And that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, Ellie, do you want to say anything on that point?
Yeah, like it's a collective thing, Derbert, you know, and Mia. You put people in place, right, to do a job, and you trust those people. And if they don't pull their weight and the players don't buy into that person either, and they're not pulling their weight, it's a knock-on effect. You can't just pin the blame on one group. You know, it's collectively right throughout the club. All right. So what you say, Dermot, when those players pull on that white shirt, they go on that pitch and they've got to give their all, and they haven't been doing that. They haven't.
That's the point I'm making, Ellie, that you can blame Levy for some stuff, but when some players cross that white line, there's nothing Levy, the managers, or the coaches. Mia's argument that the coaches coach the players. Yeah, I can understand that argument, Mia, and I do get what you mean by that. But the other point I'm making, when them players cross their line, they're the ones that got to give 100%. Even if you look at the 90s guys or the 80s, Ellie, that we can remember, even Philip goes back to the 70s. And even the year they went down, the players still fought to the last game. They were playing against Aston Villa the year we went down. And Barry Davis said, Tottenham are still fighting. Tottenham are still fighting to the last day of the season to stay up. We went down. Okay, we got up the next season by a draw at Southampton, luckily. And then the rest is history. But the point is, them players are the ones that actually go onto the pitch. There's nothing Daniel Levy or the manager can do when them players are on the pitch. The manager has a thing to change it at half time or do substitutions. But there's nothing Daniel Levy can do because he's appointed a man to do the job, to get them players doing. He's given that manager money to buy players. And it's down to them to do it. Now, I'm not defending Daniel Levy in any shape or form. I'm not saying here I'm not Levy in before somebody starts saying like, me and Mia have been both accused of working for Tottenham. Well, if me and Mia are both working for Tottenham, we'd love to know where our wages are because we've never got any. You know, but I'm just trying to
I used to work for Tottenham playing.
But I'm trying to mock out a balanced argument here that you cannot blame him for everything. So what? Go on, Lee.
No, I was just going to say, what I would say is that some fans might get disillusioned with the fact that Levy didn't get some of the really good signings over the line to make us an even better team. But even that, you don't know how that player's going to perform and how he's going to react to the manager and how he's going to react to his teammates. So even though you feel that he's a really good player to get in, when he comes in, he might not be the right player, you know, and he might not want to fight for the team. Because we've seen that when Conte called the players out and he said they're selfish. Yeah, he didn't say all of them. He said, I see selfish and it's not acceptable. Yeah, there's only a certain amount a manager can do. When they go on that pitch, they've got to give their all, Dermot.
Yeah.
I don't care about that because when I put my shirt on, I gave my all. You know, and I played for the badge.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got two comments here from Brian Dagon. Look, we do bring them up. We do bring up people's other opinions. This is what this channel has always been about. It's about opinions. And he says the very fact that they're allowed to wear the shirt because they cross that line and play like crap has everything to do with Levy. Doesn't back managers. And he's probably saying, oh, come on now with what I was saying. But Mia, what do you say to that? Do you agree with Brian in what he's saying? Or what's your opinion on that? Because he somehow does make a point that if you don't back a manager fully, he can't buy the players he wants to get his implementation, his vision of how he wants a Tottenham side to play.
Yeah, so I think that the problem is that some of this whole backing thing is subjective to start with. So what his version of backing and my version of backing could be completely different, Brian. This is what I'm trying to obviously just surmise just between us. Like it could be completely different between me and Dermot. So the problem is that happens a lot. Then people do it also in hindsight. So yes, the club hasn't always done what's best by the managers, but they've got the wrong kind of managers in to do what they want to do. So it is that situation. But have managers been spent money on? Yes. Have they had some backing? Yes, I feel like they actually have, but it hasn't worked out. With Poch, it was a bit different. He didn't have the money, but I heard that he also refused some players. I don't know what's true and what's not, so I'm just surmising and going on what I've heard. So I think there's just so many factors to it. I just don't think it is black and white. I feel like there's lots of things, and like I always say, if all but for a kick of a ball, we would have won a cup against Man United, and then would fans still be complaining, or would they not be complaining? So I feel like that there's such fine margins. There's such fine margins in football when we've had those opportunities.
Yeah. Look, I'm just trying to be balanced. I'm not trying to be one way or the other. And I hope Brian gets that. I hope Brian understands that. As me, I've always tried to be balanced in my argument and always tried to be respectful to everyone's opinion. So, Brian, look, I'm trying to be balanced here, trying to get both sides of the argument so we can have a balanced argument. So please don't think that on one way or the other. I am trying to be balanced here. And I think Ellie can vouch for me on that, can't you, Ellie?
Yeah, I just feel, sometimes I feel, have the managers got any gumph? to actually demand from Levy what they want, you know, because it seems like Levy's got all the power at the club, you know, and it seems like he dictates a lot of the things from the outside.
Yeah,
but
well,
you never know what goes on behind closed doors.
And I got a few
what
comments.
I would say, yeah.
So I'm just trying to bring a balanced argument.
Yeah,
Ellie,
of course, you know, because nobody knows. But it just seems from the outside that the managers are not dictating what they want at the club. They're just letting all the board members and Levy make the decisions, and it's not on.
No, just
They've
want to
got
say
to be in power.
Yeah, just want to say big up to Kate Boxwell. Kate's become a YouTube member. Big up, Kate. Thank you so much. It's really, really appreciated from myself, Mr. Philip Brady, Ellie, and me as well. So thank you so much. Look, Philip, look, the chat's come out. So I'm trying to get everyone's comments up here, but I'm just really just struggling to keep up with it. Corey Boy saying, both Jose and Conte can't be wrong when they can be called out. Some of the players both got sacked for it. Jose sacked for wanting to win a trophy. Conte sacked for speaking the truth. Look, I don't know how clearer I can make myself. Okay, I am not happy the way what Levy has done at our club some of the time. I don't know how clear I can make myself on that. I support the team. The thing I have. The players, everyone has to take responsibility. The players do, the managers do, the owners do. Everyone has to take equal acceptation, equal place of the pie. So, did I think Conte was wrong in what he said? No, I don't think Conte is wrong in what he said. Do I think it was wrong to sack Jose before 6 days for a League Cup final? Yes, I do think it was wrong to sack Jose before a League Cup final. Do you think it was wrong to sack Martin Jol at halftime? Yes, I do think it was wrong to sack Martin Jol at halftime. But you cannot blame everything on Levy. You cannot blame everything doesn't stop with him. The players have to take responsibility for their professionalism, for their attitude on the pitch, for giving up a 3-1 lead against Southampton. Look at Southampton for an example. We're winning at halftime. You can see Højbjerg telling the players, look what Southampton are going to do to us. Look what they're going to do within 5 minutes of coming out in the second half. 30 seconds, not even that, Southampton equalised. So you can't blame everything. I mean, I've been told to stop sitting on the fence. It's my fence. I want to sit in it. I'm going to sit in it. But I'm trying to give a balanced argument. So
it's not sitting on the fence if you get a balanced argument either, because you're actually being more intelligent about it, because you're actually saying that you can't pin the blame on just one person, because it's not. If you think it's just one person, there's a lot going on at our club that's wrong. You know,
I think that having balance and a well-rounded view isn't something to be looked upon badly. I feel like that I don't think Levy could take us any further. And Enoch, I did say that the other day, and I do feel like it's time for them to go. But I'm also cautious about what could come in. So I've got a balanced view on it. So people who say I'm defending Levy will know, because I said I want him gone. So it just shows you that if people listen to what you're actually saying, you're just trying to bring some sort of balance and fairness to an argument, because otherwise argument's not an argument if you're one-sided.
Yeah, and Brian says that the players have a lot to answer for and are professional. That's bang on. I agree with that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And Brian said it's down to one person. It's down to 3 people: Levy, Cullen, and Enoch. She's saying, okay, if your fence is balanced, find them. Look, what more do you want me to say? Do you want me to scream from the top of the shout valve? I want Levy out. I want beeping this, beeping that. I want what's best for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I've been a fan for 42 years. So if I have my own opinion, that's my own opinion. But I'm not going to have...
Again, nobody should get on to anybody about their opinion. Everybody has got the right to have their own opinion. Nobody should come down on any person. Everybody's opinion is equal, because it's an opinion. It's subjective.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that Dermot doesn't want Levy in. He doesn't, you know, because you might not shout it from the rooftops, Dermot, but you are balanced, right? You give both sides of the story, and you know that Levy's not been performing. You've said that many times. So when they say you're on the fence, that's wrong. It's not.
Yeah,
You're not.
It's just one of them. Look, every once in a time, I respect your opinion, and that's all I ask. That's all I ask is everyone respects. I respect Brian Daigle's opinion.
Yeah.
I respect Corey Boy's opinion. I respect David Clark's opinion. I respect Mia's and Ellie's opinion.
Yeah, because you know, Dermot, that I'm totally Levy out because I'm fed up that we haven't achieved anything in 21 year. We've won a trophy. All right, we've come close, but we haven't got it over the line. And I know what Mia says got value as well with a touch here and a touch there, or you know, the penalty shootout against Man United in the League Cup, the handball decision. Those all go against you. It's like sometimes you can't control that, can you?
No, right. Well, look, we're going to end it there, because that is how long we're going to go for Newsbeat today. This last comment is Levy's the head of the snake. You got to cut off the head, choppy. Well, you know what happens when you cut off a head? 3 more appear. And where do I know that? That is from Marvel. So there you go. So you cut off Levy's head, 3 more might appear. Tequila says, Dermot's the man. She says, thank you so much. Brian as well for thank you so much. Look,
yeah, you are.
Look, we've got so many. Look, do you want to keep going, or do you want to end it, or do you want to go on for another 15 minutes?
Keep on going.
Listen, I just want everyone to be respectful and nice to each other, because honestly, we all love Tottenham. That's the main one thing we've all got in common, apart from obviously people who don't support Tottenham who are in here, but we love you guys anyway. But honestly, we all just want to be respectful, man. It's just nice for us to have good conversations. We don't need to be disrespectful towards people's opinions. Like, it's just not nice. It's not cool. We're all nice people here. Dermot's lovely, Ellie's lovely, and I'm sure that everyone who comments in the comment section is lovely too, from what I can see. So let's keep it nice.
And you're lovely too, Mia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's lovely.
All right. I just need to. Do you want to start?
Well.
We'll start talking about this one. I need to pop off for 2 minutes. Who would you like to bring in as a main centre back replacement if it comes to that? So I'll let you two. And then this will be the last question, because I want to get off because Mr. Harris is on and I really want to watch Dave's show. So this is the last question.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I would like to see Stefan de Vrij, because he's got all the experience. He'll be fantastic with Romero because he'll be a calming, experienced head right by him. Because if we bring in a youngster, it's going to defeat the object, because he's not the finished article. Whereas Stefan de Vrij, he's seen it all, and he's made the Champions League final as well. That's how good he is with Inter Milan, who have not been in the final for yonks. So, yeah, I'd love him to be our centre-back.
I would think about Laporte, because he's going to be coming away from Man City, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a really good player, experienced. I think he's quite a cool head. I think that he's got enough experience, and he's been in that team of a Man City. So obviously good, like the attitude will have to be good to be in a Man City team. So I think he's somebody that I really rate. I really like him, and I think he could be somebody next to Romero who would be really, really good and good for the team in general.
Yeah, I agree. Either one of those two would be fantastic for our team, especially your Romero, because he just needs a calming head by him, someone who's experienced, like when we had Jan and Toby. You know, it was fantastic combination, because Jan had all the pace and he had the vision as well, and Toby had the fantastic passing range from defence and could bring the ball out and really pin some brilliant passes out of defence. So and de Vrij similar, you know, to Toby. He hasn't got too much pace, but he's not slow. All right. So we need someone like who's calming. And those experienced players, they don't come along very often, you know. So we've got to, you know, seal that deal. Brilliant as well, but I think like
he's
Terry,
been linked.
He might get nicked.
Do you know what though? It's about partnerships and trust as well, Ellie. You've got to build up that bond and that partnership. And Toby and Jan had that, didn't they? They were very well bonded, and they knew each other very well. And you want to build up that relationship, because that really does work.
It was a crying shame that we never won anything with them in our team, because they were fabulous together, brilliant. You know, it's just a shame.
Well, look,
So
we
many
are
near
going.
misses.
We are going to end it there. I need to go and shoot and do something. That's why I needed to make sure, but I need to go because I need to go to do something. So
Okay.
listen, we are back tomorrow at 4 with more breaking news. If any news breaks between now and tomorrow at 4, myself or Ellie, myself or Mia, we will be here. I want to thank Jim and Kate for coming, YouTube members.
Lovely.
Really grateful. And yeah.
I'm going on Jacob's stream now. Well, in the next whatever.
Yeah, well, just stay behind, Ellie, and need to have a quick word with you.
Yeah, of
Mia,
course.
do you want to give your channel a quick plug before we go, honey?
Yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Spurs Between the Lines. I'm just going to grab the link for it as I'm trying to head to that 400. So that would be fabulous if you could subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. I do all kinds of content. And again, I really like to have good conversations with people and respectfully, you know, like I'm a respectful person. I like to have good conversations. And I don't want to anyone to think that I come across rude. I'm just assertive. That's all that is.
That's right.
I'm just assertive with my opinion.
Well, listen, thank you so much for Mia. Thank you so much, Ellie, for coming on. And there we do. Get over to Mia's channel, get over to Spurs Between the Lines, but also like and subscribe here as well. Whatever you do, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. God bless you. Come on, you Spurs.
In the fans we trust.
Woo!